Good morning. We are out and about. Happy Monday. Little Miss Pyaar gets to be outside. Let me tell you, she really misses not having the ability to go in and out at will. Missing her doggy door access. We have a gorgeous day. Look at all that. A few high, puffy white clouds. Almost no breeze, just enough though. Really beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, how are you, my friends? Good morning. Let's get you straight. Straighter. Straightish. All right. If you're not straight, I'm not trying to fix that. I'm just trying to correct the angle. Don't be confused. All right. So, how was your evening? The chicken marsala last night came out really good. Jeff said it was probably the best marsala I've made. So, here we are. And cleanup wasn't bad. And I took a shower away from those ants. After I took a shower, I decided I wanted to soak in a tub. So I put some bubble bath in the tub, ran some hot water, and soaked. I got out of the tub, and I was getting ready to put my pajamas on, and the side of my thighs and behind my knees were bright red, and I had bumps coming up on the side of my thighs. I was allergic to something, obviously. So, took a Benadryl, and that subsided. So that was good. It was one of two things, because I cleaned the tub before I got in it last night. So maybe there's residual chemical from that. Although I will say, I am not a sensitive skin girly. I don't get rashes from changing soaps or laundry detergents or anything like that. And I can use whatever lotions I use. Nothing ever really affects me. So I just found that to be kind of odd. Or maybe a combination of the bubble bath that I used. I used the Dr. Teal's avocado and something. I don't know, it's supposed to be skin soothing even. Maybe it was a combination of a residual chemical from cleaning the tub and that bubble bath. I have no idea. But it just got really hot in those areas and bumpy on the outside of the thigh. So Benadryl seemed to take care of it. All's well that ends well. And let's see. Then I did a sheet mask on my face while I soaked in the tub. And Jeff gave me a little bit of a hard time. He's like, oh, that's real sexy. I'm like, well, look, the older you get, the more maintenance and upkeep this needs. So it's what it is. Good morning. The people with the beautiful black lab are across the way. So let's see, what else? That was pretty much it. I did lay down and fell asleep by 9:30-ish, which is good for me. And then I woke up with a little bit of a headache. So headache wasn't subsiding. I took Motrin, getting better. A full day of classes today. I know I shared that with you yesterday because we have 8:30 and 10 at the studio, 12 on base, and then 2 at Warrior Healing Center. So we've got that going on today. Oh, and then 6:30 back at the studio. And weather-wise today, it's only supposed to hit like 87, which is good. So I didn't feel the need to wear shorts and a pair of joggers. And last night, I don't even know what time it was because I went to sleep so early. But the thunder woke me up. I had some serious thunder and lightning. I'm sure there was rain to go with it. I did fall back asleep, so obviously it wasn't that menacing. But I remember a few times the sky getting lit up. So there was some severe weather last night, and the swimming pool is almost filled to the top. So I'm going to say we got quite a bit of rain last night. We're possibly having a true monsoon season this year. Although I saw an article, and I didn't read it, that the San Pedro River is still dry. So I guess our land is really thirsty and just sucking it up. That was all of that. How was your night? How was your weekend? You can share with me your weekend. What'd you do? I know that my stepdaughter was in Long Island. Got to see some of her friends. And she took her daughter, and then her son met them there. So that was nice. And my brother-in-law hosted a barbecue at the house for her and all her friends. So that was really nice for them. And all the pictures she posted, of course, she looked happy. And so I know that was going on. I told you about our misadventures on Sunday. So if you didn't watch the weekend recap and Cooking with Vibes, watch that because it was pretty funny. What happened on Saturday was pretty funny. And yeah, that was that. So tell me about your weekend. Tell me what you did. Tell me what you didn't do. Sometimes we make all these plans and then nothing happens. All of a sudden the couch just swallows you. Little arms come up and hold you down. Maybe that happened. Maybe you made plans and you set out and you got derailed somewhere. Sometimes a derailment is a good thing. Sometimes it's not. So let me know what went on for you. We all get derailed. You know, Erica had made a post, and in her post she had said something to the effect of, it wasn't the life she planned, but she's making the most of it, and she's, living her life as fully as she can. And I responded with, the saying, you make plans, God laughs. And it's kind of true. We do make all kinds of plans. And oftentimes it just seems like we have one obstacle after another that's thrown in our way. And I always encourage people when that happens. Sometimes it's the universe, God, I don't care what you want to call it, okay? I'm just going to say the universe for universal conversation. But whatever you want to call it. We get something in our head, this is what we want to do. And we get trucking along. And then there's going to be a little bump in the road. And we navigate that first bump, right? No problem. We navigate that first bump and we kind of step over it, walk over it, what have you. We're able to step over that first hurdle. And usually it's not too big. It's just kind of unexpected, right? Like, oh, that shouldn't have happened, right? But it did. Okay, let's adjust. Let's move around it. Let's step over it, go around it, whatever. And then it's going to happen again. Right, we go on our path, and then there's another hurdle. And each hurdle gets to be just a little bit bigger. We're not able to just kind of take that step over it, right? We have to maybe lift our knee a little bit higher. Maybe we have a little jump we have to do. Maybe we have to back up and leap. Maybe the path around it gets to be, come on, girlie, a little bit bigger. And we start to get frustrated. And sometimes we really push our will, right? No, I've got to do this. This is what I'm supposed to do. Maybe you are supposed to do that. And maybe you're not. Or maybe you are, but not in the manner in which you are attempting to do it. So we talked about that silence practice last week. Go into that silence practice. Just go into it with this question. Just say, universe, I'm working on this. This is what I'm thinking I'm supposed to be doing. And it just doesn't seem to be working out. Where am I going wrong? What am I supposed to do? And then just sit. Sit in silence. Close your eyes. Find something to focus on, what have you. And just sit in silence. And as those crazy little thoughts come by, let them float by. Or put them on that shelf inside. Whatever is the most beneficial way for you. And just sit. Sit in silence. My glasses are a little bit too big and they keep sliding down. Now, when you come out of that silence practice, as I had said last week, seldom are you going to come out of it with the answer. But know that you've put that out there. And know that you have to be open. You have to be open to receive the information that's being given to you. Because sometimes, like I said, whatever it is might not be meant for us. Like you could really be in tune and in touch with somebody else. And you could be picking up on what they're supposed to be doing. And maybe, you're doing something and someone else that you're close to is also doing something very similar. And sometimes you're like, well, why is this person doing that? I said this was my idea. And this is for me. Yet there they are doing it. But it's not working out for you, right? But it's working out well for them. And you get a little bit upset, you get a little bit jealous about it. Which is understandable because we think that this is for us. When in actuality, it's not. Maybe it's for them. So we say, oh, that's for you. Awesome. I'm so glad that you were doing well on that. I think that I have put this resource into this and it's going to serve you better than me. So we let go of it and we give whatever it is to that other person. And then we move on to something else. And I know sometimes we feel like there is no nothing else. There's no something else because this is what I'm supposed to do. All right, maybe you are. Right? Let me use myself as an example. And I'm not saying that I shouldn't be teaching yoga because I honestly, truly, and my deepest being believe that that is my calling. But let's just say that after having been almost 10 years in Florida, running my studio, that I still wasn't having any students. That I still was only at like 1 or 2 people a whole day. Maybe having the yoga studio wasn't the way I was supposed to go. Maybe it's supposed to be online. And I have to explore that. Right? So, you never know. Right? And we explore all those options. Because if you really feel drawn to whatever it is, maybe it is meant for you. You're just going about it wrong. That's quite possible. You know, I'm sure I'm going to butcher it, but Sherlock Holmes has that saying, and I know I'm butchering it, when you've explored all the possibilities and you still don't have the answer, then it's that impossibility that really is the answer. And I cannot believe I can't ever remember that because I so believe it, you know. I do believe that that's a thing. Lady out here pulling weeds. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, just maybe we're going about it wrong. And I'm not saying that I should be online, although I have some friends that say I should be online. There are a lot of technical moving parts to getting me there. The sound is the biggest problem right now. I have to be able to work out that whole sound thing. I need to find a method, a microphone method that's going to work for me, that's not going to cost me $1 million. I think for me, for teaching, I might need the one that kind of goes over the ear and into the mouth. Here's the thing, the earbuds will work for sound to you, but if I'm teaching a class and I have people in class, then there's no two-way interaction. You're only talking into my head. And I'm responding to you and nobody else in the room gets it. So I want to be able to have your moans and groans heard and have you still hear me without the voice fading. Like every time I turn my head, if I turn my head this way, and my microphone's on the right. If I turn my head to the left, people tell me that I fade away and they can't hear me. And then if I'm going to turn my head to the right, then it's really loud. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because I feel like when I'm cooking, I'm moving all the time and my sound is okay. So I'm not quite sure what's happening with that. But I had a student that was in Michigan for about a month and she said that, and she had a friend come on and try and do class, but that was her friend's complaint too. So, I mean, obviously it's a problem. How to fix it, I don't know. Come here, girl. We're back to the house. Let me get her off leash. Hold still. Okay. Again, she runs to the door as if she's going to be opening it herself and running in. For her, it is all about getting her breakfast in. So anyway, we just have different, oh my gosh, this girl, there are different challenges And I don't mind spending the money. I mean, there's initial investments that have to be made, and I've made a lot of initial investments. And I don't mind putting that money out at all. Doesn't matter to me. My needs and wants are really quite well taken care of. So I don't mind putting the money into it, but I also need to have some sort of return. So anyway, I'm just trying to figure out if anybody knows anything about this stuff. Let me know. What kind of microphone? Put like a link to it or something in the comments, and I'll take a look at it. I feel like this little microphone is great. The bigger microphone is great. And I've done my pose of the day stuff using these microphones, and I feel like they've come out okay. So there's something involved with the movement portion, that maybe bigger movement portion, that seems to be lacking on these two. So we'll see. We'll see what it is that we can figure out. And any help you want to give, good morning. Any help you want to give, then I'm more than happy to explore that. But we're talking about sometimes things, either they're not meant for us or they are meant for us, but we're going about them wrong. And sometimes, it all works. It all flows. Like moving here, it all just flowed. We saw this house in October. We had no intentions of moving. Went home, talked about it. November, decided, okay, we'll move. Put the house on the market. It sold in 2 months. And in those 2 months, I was looking on Zillow at houses, and everything I was looking at was selling really fast. And I was so concerned that we weren't going to be able to find a home. And my husband's like, we're not having 2 mortgages, Rose, so we're not doing that. And he's right, And I didn't suggest it, but he could tell that I was moving in that direction. And the house sold. We closed on the one house, and we came here and we looked at 6 houses. And the one house that we put an offer in on, somebody overbid us, and Jeff said, I'm not getting into bidding war over a house. And we put the offer in on this house, which is the house we saw in October the previous year, that was still on the market and still available. And both of us, when we walked into this house, said, wow, this feels like home, which was very strange. So it was meant to be. Like everything just flowed. So when it's supposed to be, then it's supposed to be. Sometimes we got to work for it a little bit more. The studio, I have to really work at that a little bit more. That's not flowing. Even in Florida, it didn't initially flow. People come, people love it. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they didn't. Lots of people walk through the door. It's those repeat customers that you look for, right? So that's happening. I have some great people that come for yoga here. And I would love for them to come more regularly. But that's theirs to work out, right? That's their journey. And I'm just part of it. And I'm happy to be a part of it. And then there are some things that just are not meant to be. Or we only have them for a brief moment and then they're gone. And we have to just cherish what we did have, right? Whatever it is. Whether it's a house, whether it's a human, whether it's a pet, whether it's a friendship. We need to just cherish what we had and then, be grateful for it. And then when it's gone, it's gone. Okay. Thank you, universe, for allowing me to have that in that moment. Another topic for another day. We will get there. However, as you can see, I am back home, and I do need to get going so I can get to the studio, because I will have students for all of my classes today. So I need to get there and get that set up. Not that there's much to do to set up, but I have to get there. You know, I like to be there before my students arrive. I hate it when they're waiting in the car for me. I like to be there, I like to have the door open and be welcoming for when everybody comes in. So that is everything for today. I hope you guys have an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this, wherever you might be. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the little thumbs up button. You know, give it some love. Let's grow our channel. Thank you so much. I will talk to you very soon. Have a great day. Bye.